2025, how are you? I'm so glad that you are covering, every chair is carrying a pair of buttocks, which is very good. It means we didn't plan for an empty chair. So the closing minutes are going to be very personal. Very personal because I have a very soft heart for CHADA members. You are in an interesting situation which everybody would envy. But you are also one of the most vulnerable groups that can exist in the country. Highly vulnerable. And I'm going to touch two things that can try to mitigate that vulnerability. One will be financial literacy. The other one trying to create a cross-generational business. Both of them require that you begin to believe that you are a normal human being and you are not very special. But as I speak about this message, I want to first say why you are so important. You are important because you are among the few people in this country who carry and receive a lot of money every day. Somebody comes and is taking away 100 buckets of undercoat at 60,000 each. That is 6 million, not so. Your profit is 3,000 per jerrycan. Multiply that by 100. It's how much? 300,000. But you are holding what? 6 million. Marrying the two is difficult. To behave like a person of 300,000 is very difficult when you are holding 6 million. That's a very, very difficult situation. You should be very humble and scared that you are carrying somebody's money and you don't know whether you are going to hand it over to the person in time. But here you are, the money is called your money. This is my money. When I talk about how do we create a generational business, I want you to accommodate what will make you get separated from that money. So that when you see the 6 million, you are what Ugandans will be saying, okukakana. You will be settled. No panic, no excitement. Because you know the 6 million is not yours. The 300,000 is yours. And that 300,000 is to pay rent, to pay salaries, to look after all the other expenses. Do you see the little that remains with you to play around? That is the message I wanted to start with. But you are so important. Why? When you get this money, you are the people who tend to go into other sectors and make a mark in those other sectors. You can now make money and end up having a Nyakika Hotel. But before you do this Nyakika Hotel, you should have behaved like the way Uganda Bati is run. You should have mirrored Uganda Bati all along so that by the time you come and own a Nyakika Hotel, all the principles of Uganda Bati, will have been part of your story. But are you willing to copy from Uganda Bati? Or you are simply saying, give us the supply, bring the supply. Uganda Bati has been in this game for so long and they have coconut for a long time. They have hundreds of billions and they have never gotten excited. You started just yesterday and already you are so excited. So stand up briefly. You just stand up briefly. So friends, I want us to just warm up to make sure that the 30 minutes we are going to share, the message is personal. You live here alone. You go back to your enterprise alone. So I want the ears to be open. I want the eyes to be open. By the time the chair receives your buttocks to sit down, the head is alert. So we are going to just put the hands up first. All of us put the hands up. Put the two hands up and then turn to your right completely. Turn to the right. Turn to the right until the food moves there. Turn there. Come back to the center again. Put the hands straight. Turn to the left until all the food has moved to the left. Move, 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 move. Come to the center. Now we're going to bend in front so that the head is alert. Let's bend down, bend down, bend down, bend down, bend down. Get to the nose, get to the toes, get to the toes. But the knees should be straight, not bending the knees, please. Keep the knees straight, go to the toes. Go to the toes again. Get up. Go to the toes again. Go back to the toes. The knees should be straight, please, kindly. Thank you so much. Thank you very much indeed. So, you can take your seats. Take your seats. I have a two-part presentation. Which presentation will create a story that I loved so much to read. When Uganda Bat marked 60 years. George, I missed that occasion. I was in Canada. But it was a brilliantly shared occasion. In the occasion, they talked about everything about Uganda Bati. If I were you, you'd have kept that pull out and just say, how will I be like this 10 years from now? They talked about their strategies. They talked about their tax contributions. They talked about how their networks are working. And then they went one more step ahead, shared testimonies of ordinary Ugandans who joined a major brand and borrowed from the major brand and became mini brands in their different locations. I read those stories with a lot of interest and said it is possible to become a mini corporate if you can accept the principles of the senior corporate that is supplying you. The Uganda Batis of this world, the Sadolins, the Tembos, the other brands that we have been hearing here. But for that to happen, we need to first fix the basics. Professor Balunya in the morning mentioned something interesting. He said, Nokia disappeared having done nothing wrong. They disappeared from the market having done nothing wrong. You seated here, you have done so many wrong things. Should you just disappear or you should be buried and reburied so that we don't remember you again? Nokia disappeared having done nothing wrong. You are here, you are doing too many wrong things. Do you deserve to be around? Nokia was good. Produced solutions that were admirable. They were knocked by the market forces. You have two areas here, you are in trouble. All these areas you are wanting. Your finances, your earnings are not growing the way they are supposed to growing. When they get diversified, the diversified entities are not profitable. They are eating the old ones. Your saving is not as steady. Reinvesting and investing, you should be doing that, but you are not doing that in the way it should be done. But the spending is unstructured, unbudgeted, spur of the moment. Go and talk to Georgia Rodi and see whether he can wake up in the morning and just go and buy a Prado. Was it in the budget? What was the provision for the Prado? How long has the one that has been there been running? Is it to first can we sell the old one and get some money, then we just top up? For you, when you are spending, you simply say, they have just advertised the best Toyota. When can I go and pick it? When can I go and pick it? Whose money are you using? Supplier's money. But because it is in your hands, remember the 6 million. It is my money. Yours is 300, and the 300 is part of it is salary. You are calling it what? My money. The God who created us said, watch your tongue. He said, a tongue has got the ability to give life and what? Death. The moment you utter that this is 6 million is my money, you are triggering the head to go and say, start enjoying it. It is yours. It started from the wrong conversation. This is not your money. Even the 300,000, it is not your money fully. Part of it is salaries. Part of it is pay electricity. You have uttered it is my money. So I'm going to touch on these things here briefly because the evening is short and you are looking forward to handling the glasses the other side. And then I just want to make sure that even the few minutes that I have, we will try to pick something that will make me feel good about CHADA. Because CHADA is a seedbed for people who can start schools, who can start hotels, who can start mega beautiful other businesses. But only after you have managed to discipline yourself and run that entity like a mirror of Uganda Bati, a mirror of Tembo. And it comes all the way from the basics up to the way you talk. Never will you get to George saying, my money. He says, Uganda Bati's money. Can't you talk like that? Can't you? Basics like those. Every moment you associate with a solid brand, please don't just talk about supplies. How come they're achieving the way they're achieving? How come they have got one head, each one of them? The workers they're having, they are the normal people who ate matoke with you. But then yours are managed in a manner that is totally unstructured. So the examples are here of painful stories, just to tell you that whatever I'm going to share here about failure to manage money and failure to put systems for it to create a cross-generational enterprise, the private sector is full of painful stories. Within the seamless steel mills, there can't you put their shumuk? Shumuk was put up last year for sale. Do you know that they manufacture 400 tons every day of steel products? Shumuk had a good run. But there you are, they couldn't cope with their financial obligations. Schools are there. Apart from Crane Bank, didn't we know a bank called Mercantile Bank? It exited. Contractors, Zimwe, Rocco, Electrical, the Sebagas and Sons. Did you know that this is now a multi-billion thing? Sector has grown more than 10 times. The leader that defined everything else is out of the game. But here's the painful part of it. The owners are still here. They are alive. They did a great job in the retail sector and then went to Kololo and put up excellent apartments. They couldn't pay. They told them, undo the entire story and get out. But you will not die today, you will not die next year. You will now be around, but without the empire. You will be here, but without the empire. Supermarkets, Uchumi, Nakuma, these fellows were great. They were the benchmark of the very best. Similar situation. Financial indiscipline and systems being abused. Here is the message. Finances, systems have no respect for history. They only keep on saying what you did yesterday to keep my enterprise called Nakumat shining. Are you doing it today? Are the people who are supplying milk to Nakumat still delivering milk? What they are saying, I waited to be paid. Initially it was 45 days. It went to 60 days. It went to 90 days. It went to 6 months. I'm no longer being paid. Let me live with a loss. I've abandoned that outlet. But in the past, you're the benchmark of best practice. This is a bad story because everything that Uchumi and Nakumat left open, Carrefour has filled it. Mega supermarkets have filled those places. What does that mean? Customers never disappeared. The great player could not hold the ground. customers never disappeared. The customers became of age. Those who were school goers and were going to Nakumatt became family members and they wanted to go to Nakumatt. It had disappeared. The market grew. The pace setter disappeared. Do you know anything in agribusiness? Yes, I heard the name Beansika. But there are two Beansikas you need to know. There used to be Beansika Enterprises. Then there is Beansika International. Beansika Enterprises was the benchmark of the very best in their space until it couldn't continue to run the race. But the space has continued to be duly filled. I wish I could say that message a bit better. You will not be missed except we shall say, it used to be owned by a certain man, and the people continue to buy from the new suppliers of a solution. That school used to be owned by so and so, but we are going to that school because now we are dealing with the new directors and proprietors. Let's just go back to that list. I don't know whether I've completed that list. Because in here, we want to go to hotels. Did you know that a mini Pasha dominated a market niche of premium clients for no less than 18 years? And this year, not only have they put the main mini Pasha in Nakasero Hill on sale, all the other outlets that they try to go into have also been put up for sale. Does it speak something? Does it make you feel like, why not postpone the evening tea? And just listen to this message a little bit more, because the wave is coming for you. These fellows were not criminals. Did you know that Lotus was one of Uganda's most prime office addresses in the country? Lotus, premium. Banks were there. Embassies were there. Law firms were there. That place had occupancy permanently. Then, the reckless finances, the three things that I will be sharing with you. What are those 3-4 things that must bring down every enterprise if you don't obey the basics? I will share those ones briefly with you. Lotus had a loan that couldn't add up. The bank advertised and said, you are the occupants of Lotus Towers. We give you 14 days to exit. After the 14 days, obviously the tenants knew that the new buyer most likely will need tenants. So they remained there. So after the deadline of the 14 days, they sent another advert saying, this place now has been sold. The new owners are the following 2 names, and they will deal with you on new terms. And the story moved on. It moved on. If you don't know Lotus Towers, it is now called Aries Towers. Visit it, watch at a distance and admire, and just say, this place at any one time had 90% occupancy. The owners lost ownership. What message there? 90% occupancy of premium rate, $26 per square meter. If you ever get in this country $11 per square meter, thank your God. Lotus was enjoying 26 per square meter. Today it's called Aries. So in terms of the buses, you know, the ones in Western Uganda that have left, they are totally wiped out. They are gone. Passengers are everywhere. Passengers are everywhere, but the buses have gone. So my message is that whatever you are seeing here, never ever imagine that these people were foolish. Or these fellows here didn't know what they were doing. You are on track to enter the same pit. And today I want to try and hold you back and just say, please, don't continue. You're about to enter. But you are right now walking there, and you are walking there, and the pit is waiting for you. These fellows are simply saying, we are an example of what you shouldn't go through. Don't laugh at them. Learn from them. Right now, they can't sleep. They can't sleep. They look back and just say, why did I do that? And here's the painful thing. And for some of us, in case you have gone through this wave, what I'm about to say is correct. When the wave of sweeping you out comes, did you know that it did not come like a storm? It built up over time. And every worker was watching. And as you now finally collapse, they will all be speaking one chorus. We knew Mzee was doing that. We knew Mzee was doing that. In fact, if Mzee had listened to us, you see how basic the message is. The gate man is aware. The one serving food is aware. The relatives you brought into the business are aware. The children are also almost aware, except the glorified man was not aware. My name is Charles Ocici. Just to confirm that you are listening to me, I'm going to say something. What's that something? There is a word Ugandans love a lot, or a phrase Ugandans love a lot. When something is important and urgent, do you know what Ugandans say? They say, tell them. They say what? Tell them. So when you hear me saying, Ocici, I want you to react by saying, tell them. Ocici! Ocici! This is us in Africa. When the message is plain and direct, when the message is undisputable, do you know what a Ugandan will tell you? I don't have anything to add except what? Tell them. So, let's go on to this message. Let's continue. What you are saying, whatever I'm talking about, I never pick stories that are not in public. Never. Move. This is Uchumi for you. That is Nakumat for you. Here. Cash flow problems forced Uchumi out of and Nakumat to back to Kenya. And from Kenya, they were still knocked out by Carrefour. And in Kenya now, the man in charge of Nakumat, it was called Shah. It was called Mr. Shah. He cannot step in Nairobi today. He will be arrested. The empire is gone. Empire worth 1.4 trillion Uganda shillings. It's gone. He can't even step in Nairobi. The empire was 1.4 trillion worth. A tool share cannot step in Jomo Kenyatta Airport. But the message is here. The business has continued because Carrefour has occupied the space. You will be replaced the day we get you out of business. You will be replaced. You can be sure of that. How I wish you could just know that you can be replaced. Today you are here, we respect you. But are you continuing to add value and sell? If not, you will be replaced. Let's continue. Let me just touch one or two facts about cash flow. Then I can proceed to know where is the problem then. Flash them. So, cash flow challenges have been at the center of every exit of a great brand. No one is immune. All I can tell you is my sister, my brother, never mind who is seated next to you, just say this message is for me. If you people think you are okay with this message, you yourself, just remain alone like this. You have your burdens. Your head will process this message with your pillow tonight. Nobody is immune. Not a single cash flow. And my brother, Misangure, where's Misangure? And those fellows suffer a lot in the bank. There is no cash flow Ngure will get that is not saying, it is positive, I can pay you very well, give me all the money. Hoo-hoo. Pamela, they will never give you a negative cash flow. The day they give you a negative cash flow, you call Ocici at midnight. Every cash flow from a borrower says, I can pay you, bring the money now. And you know what? You are the one who runs the business, not Ngure. So Ngure will try and ask you this question. They are not, you don't know what you are saying. In fact, what I put here is even smaller. Bring me the money. You give Pamela and Ngure a lot of hard time. But the cash flow you took there was excellent. The very first 2 installments, you are struggling. Do you know in banking, if you have got 10 installments and you have done 8 very well, then you struggle with the 2. In banking, the first thing is to listen to you and say, what happened? Your track has been good. Let's listen to you. But the moment you borrow like this, the first 2 you are struggling. You fool. What's the problem? You are killing yourself first and foremost. There are 10 installments. The first 2, you are struggling. A fraud from the beginning. A fraud from the very beginning. Cash offers, what will money do? And this is a very delicate, that bullet number 3 is very delicate. It says, cash in your hands offers the shortest route to man's desire, recognition. You came from a background of deprivation, poverty, where they could see you from far and they read what the word poverty is on your face. Now you are the one carrying the money, and you must demonstrate to people that you are different. Recognition is ingrained in humanity. Control it. Control it. You only control it with a desire to accommodate room for learning, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Without that, there is no amount of recognition that will tell you, now this is enough. The more we recognize you, the more you want more. The more we recognize you, the more you want more. The only medicine is information, knowledge, wisdom. In other words, the money I'm having today, it's because I have these people here very happy to supply me. Are you continuing with that? How many suppliers have stopped giving you suppliers credit? You should be losing sleep and saying, what do I do to regain the confidence of people who put me in the space? You are seated here now, 3 suppliers have stopped giving you supplies, and you are here moving with your head up. You should be having a tail behind the legs. Our God is a good God. He knew it would be so easy to notice somebody who is not sleeping if he had given all of us tails, because most of us would be walking with the tails between the legs because of the issues that we are living with. Ocici! Ocici! I don't want anybody at the back, anywhere in the middle, to miss the message. Because it's not about me, it's about this country. The rate at which big brands are jumping out, the rate at which anybody who succeeds in a sub-county is collapsing, it's worrying. Very worrying indeed. So, this is one thing you need to moderate in your life. Cash will make you look for recognition through purchases, while diminishing or reducing your desire to get the best thing in life, which is wisdom. Wisdom is where you get the skills to serve the customer. Because we have over-recognized you, the desire to continue to search and do the right thing begins to get diminished. You become a solver of every problem. Every villager is coming to you. Every voting person who has been calling you. I don't know how many of you have sponsored candidates. So, the effect of a bad cash flow, it is instant. Salaries will be in arrears. And those are the people to serve the customer. Utilities will be in arrears. Meme will be threatening to disconnect you. The taxman will be saying, I'm coming for your blood. I'm coming for you. You have eaten VAT. You should have eaten corporation tax, but you haven't eaten VAT. Oh my God. That's overcrossing the line. VAT is not your money. You had your price, you added 18%, you collected it, it is in your bank account. You are saying, let me use it. Oh my God. URA is coming for corporation tax, but you have not even remitted VAT. Not even VAT, but you picked it. You picked it. Oh my goodness. Loan servicing. I told you it's okay to get a loan problem, but I'll look at the track record. There were 4 installments. Within the very first installment, you are struggling. By the time you are doing the second installment, you have finished, man. Now to pay just interest, leave alone principal, just interest. Interest. The fellow is struggling. In other words, if we told you just return the principal, you will not return it. Kindly return the what? The principal. We have forgiven you on the what? On the interest. You will not return it. You will not. Oh my God. You saw the story of Ndere Troop. 2 hotels at the same time. None of them reached the cash flow position. That kind of a person to just say, bring just the principal. And that's what UDB did. They wrote off the interest and just said, bring this one. It couldn't work. It couldn't work. Is the man a thief? He's not a thief. He meant well, but he just thought we shall see. That's what we normally do when we are going into some of this gambling. We shall just see. Let's first take the loan. We shall see. Oh my goodness. How can one be that so naive? You start talking about we shall see as if money will start flowing in some miraculous way. Loan servicing, rent, suppliers, all those will be affected. And sometimes in this list, there are people who advance you money. They will not now get those supplies. Why? Your cash flow effects have taken over the entire big story. But anyway, even BOU was saying, bankers can also be vulnerable. And BOU said, for every bank that has accepted to do banking in Uganda, 10% of all your deposits keep with Bank of Uganda. Now, that is a bank with auditors, a bank with a board of directors, a bank with a strategy, a bank with all the systems in place. Still, BOU says, please, I want to look after your liquidity because it's very easy for you to get excited. How about you and me who walks anywhere and then they tell, this land here is on sale. It is only you who should buy it. Abruptly in the morning, they are telling it's only you. Where is it in your blood saying that it is you who is supposed to take that land? The fellow is convincing you using the word recognition to buy his land. He's riding on the word recognition for you to say, okay, let's discuss about it. Painful, 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 and wrong again. Let's move. What are the common causes of bad cash flow? And as you look at this, look at yourself on your own. Don't even say you need anybody, you need an accountant, just look at yourself tonight and just say, Ocici listed how many? 5 of them. No, they are 5. You put all of them down. Put them all here. They are all 5. Put them all here. I want these fellows here to just do an analysis of themselves tonight. That all these 5, I am a culprit. Number 1, your cash flow is in a bad situation. Why? You have breached or you don't have structures, policies, and procedures on what? Recruitments, procurements, funding, expenditure. If that is you, just say, you fool, you are the one here. Then you put yourself there. I am assisting you to have the conversation with yourself so that the brain can wake up. Lack of structures, credit sales are not being followed duly. and they are turning into bad debtors. By the time Sadolin is telling you that we have now brought our lawyers to do the collection, why are you not doing the same? Why are you too polite? Expired stocks due to poor stock taking and storage. Fast in. So for you it is fast in, fast out. Because it's easier. The one you have just put here, that's the one now you can just sell off. And you the one who is recognized as the rich man in the community, you don't go and check. Am I following LIFO or am I following FIFO? Cement, as we had today, it expires in 6 months. Your cement is down the other side. They are selling the cement that was offloaded yesterday. Ooh. Directors' drawings and poorly documented release of goods. You walk in there and just lift the money and just say, by the way, cashier, how much is in there? How much have you collected today? Just give me 2 million. This fellow has got school fees problem. Just give me 2 million. I will sign. And poor cashier cannot say no. Ask George here. He will never go to a cashier and do such a thing and it passes. Never. If Uganda Party can accept that kind of disturbance on a CEO, what about you, who has never hit 10 billion? These fellows are in $500 billion. You are not yet on 10 billion, but because you are comparing yourself to economic dwarfs, you feel you are also somebody. Ocici! Another thing that can happen is this one here. Mixing operations of different businesses. This business is just starting. You don't know when it will start becoming breaking even. Then there's another one. Then there's another one. Then there's another one. And then what do? You use the hardware store to subsidize everything. And do you know that hardware store has got behind it solid brands that don't want to lose a shilling? Sadolin will not want to lose a shilling. Tembo still will not want to lose a shilling. But you have taken that money and thrown to everywhere where you don't follow your shillings. The other fellows are saying, we are Sadolin. We can make a year's sales of 400 billion, but we want the other 1 million of last week. We want the 1 million. That is now number one. If you are in this number one here, please go and do the homework. It can be fixed. Number two, lavish lifestyle of the owner. What do I mean by that? Because some of you are saying, Ocici, what I bought was just a small car. What component of resources did you use to buy that car? If it is all the profit you earned in the year has been put into the car, you're a criminal. Why? That business is not going to grow. Your growth should have been, first of all, internal. Part of the profit should have been what? Put back. 50% of the profit should have gone back. Then the other 50%, if it can buy a car, enjoy the car. But what have you done? Because you have no records, you have no analysis for records, you override everybody, you just look at the pool of money and remove it. Mulwana said, among the 4 things that will bring an African down, he mentioned one. He said, a lavish lifestyle. That goes from a man in Kampala to a man in the village. You sold the cocks. You got a profit of some 50,000. You ate all the profit. You're on lavish lifestyle. You're a man who takes 40 days to eat meat. Now you're eating meat every 3 days because of the sold cocks. That is lavish. It's wrong. So, if you are using entire profit to do your so-called purchases, you're out of game. Now, do you know what you people even do? Not only will you eat the profit, you actually eat the supplies from Uganda Party. That is even worse. This is a criminal. He has stolen. He has just stolen. And Uganda Party is so organized that there's a structure for following bad loans. There's a department for that. There's a department for that before they release you. There's no way a road will go to the board and just say, you forgive this fellow. I think he was just messed up. Let's just forgive him. They say, have you completed the entire court case? Finish the fellow, defeat him in court, put him in for 200 days, then take that report to the board. Only then can a road go to the board and talk with his head up. So when you hear him following you, it has nothing to do with a roadie. You remove a roadie, the next man will do the same. The systems are unbreakable. The only thing you can do is just copy what they are doing. Number 3, mismatched inflows and outflows. You have taken a loan to start a hotel that is going to begin in a certain period. And in your cash flow, you are saying, within 6 months, I will have finished construction. They begin to put the inflows start coming because now after 6 months, customers should be going to the hotel. And you are the one who will be saying, this is how the hotel will be used. 40% in the first year, then 60% in the second year, then this percent. All those, are those correct? We gave you a grace period of 2 years, 18 months, like the one of the 2 hotels for Ndere Troop. For 2 years, you have not even finished construction. That cash flow is broken. From the beginning, you've lost it. Ask yourself, if today you are having a loan you are not paying, what was the amount? What was the frequency you accepted? Where were you getting that money to meet those expectations? Those assumptions were fake. And you had no choice but to be punished through a very harsh recovery process. Failure to plan for statutory dues and contracted loans. You know very well that this month I have collected some money and that money has got a bit of VAT. Please release it. And you know what? The moment you begin to make these things as automated habit, they begin to become normal. The first 6 months is the most important. Once you begin to know that VAT is never mine, that is it. That is it. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. And you know what? It allows you to concentrate. It allows you to have the partnership with Uganda Bati in Mukono, Uganda Bati in Kisoro. They will be saying, this man is good. But you say you are from Kisoro. Why don't you take over our operations in Kisoro as well? Opportunities begin to look for you. Unplanned business growth and diversification. This is what Mulwana put as the second thing. He said, check the Ugandans that have struggled. They have gone into unplanned growth, for which the second business, the third business, they had no timeline when that business will pay for itself. But in the community, you are looking at a rich man, the person that represents our achievement. So everybody in the community is living a certain lifestyle and joy because of you. Do you see how many children who have raised their hopes and their lifestyles on empty roots? And then bang, 14 days you tell the children, do you know they have told us to leave this place in 14 days? When I saw that for Shumuk, because this year in March, they now advertise his house. They had first advertised the business premises. Now this year in March, they now advertise the house. And then the children read that. 30 years of a great story. If you had to look at the story of Shumuk, 30 years of amazing journey. But these are not things that you do temporarily and forget. They must remain part of you. Let's move quickly. So, but this is what I want you to just use to edit who you are. Once you have done this, you now ask yourself, then what is let's first look at the symptoms. To confirm that those things are part of you, let's look at the symptoms. Because some of you might say, but is it me? Is it really me? Let's look at the symptoms quickly. No internal growth. In other words, whatever is happening, all the profit is being eaten. You are the same size all the time. Internal growth is being eaten. Growth from outside is coming from where? Loans. Liquidation of fixed assets. Suppliers credit. Did you know that if internal growth was going on, plus all these ones here, you become a super player? The loans are improving your growth. The suppliers credit is improving your performance. But the internal growth here, has brought you discipline in you to know that do not eat beyond 50% of the profit. Don't. Some of you are too religious, but I'll give you what the Bible says. I think it said in Proverbs 24, from 30 to 34, it is said, I walked around a garden of a stupid, lazy man. Those are the words used, stupid. I walked around a garden of a stupid, lazy man. Instead of a garden, it will be a warehouse. I walked into a warehouse of a stupid, lazy man who couldn't read the documents. And you know how the story says? It says, I found it overgrown with weeds and thorns. And then he said, when I looked at the picture, I said, stupidity, laziness, oversleeping, and folding hands. He says, I will send you poverty that will attack you like an armed robber. Go and read those words. They are painful, they are real. He calls you stupid. Basics are jumping out of your reality. You have a garden called your own warehouse. You can't even know what's happening in it. The conversation is no longer about clients, but cash remedies. If this is where you are, it is confirming the other things I told you. You wake up in the morning, you are just saying, who can give us money? You never used to go to a microfinance. Today you are at the Eco Microfinance. You never used to go to individuals to borrow. Today you are borrowing from individuals. But the banks that you knew are still operating, and they are bigger and better. And they are looking for you, but they are saying, that man, don't touch him again. The track record is terrible. So if the conversation under number 3 is you, just know that the symptoms are everywhere. Go for the remedy. Go for the remedy. Go for the remedy. I came with my colleague from Enterprise Uganda, George. George, where are you? He had the forms there. I was telling him, time allowing, you just put people here to sign up for 2 courses that I want you to attend. One, on how to create a solid banker-customer relationship. 2, how to run a successful family enterprise. Those 2 products, you need them. You need them. The moment you are better than the average wherever you are located, we shall come with the loans and give you. And I will never blame Ngure because he is seeing you trying to do something and you are above the average in terms of visibility. But what you are doing behind the scenes is terrible. Number 4 says, late on statutory obligations and formal loans. And you know even what they do, Mr. Ngure? When they are now late with you, they now tell their operations. They move away the banking operations of their business to another bank. And then I start depositing there. Then that bank will be happy saying, we have received a very good customer. The fellow is escaping from paying the other loan. And now this deposits here look so nice, this side. And because they look nice, you almost get tempted to give him some money. Until you begin to check around and you begin to say, hey, but there seems to be something wrong somewhere. So anyway, 5, mixed bank of lenders, microfinance, individuals, corporate institutions. Everybody is coming in. You are borrowing at 35%. You are also borrowing at 120% per year. The same individual. What kind of logic is this? 10% per month is 120 per year. But also you're in a microfinance where you're borrowing at 35%. And then you used to be with a normal bank at 25%. And you're calling yourself Joseph. Low variety and low quality of stocks than it used to be, and you are no longer bothered. Anybody walking away, you are no longer bothered. As your customer is loading in the next store, you are not even concerned because you know you are finished. You have finished the guy. You don't want him even to see you. When he's loading that side, you just say, if you could load without ever seeing me, I would be the happiest. Ocici! I want to save you. You are good people. You are working with corporates, but you don't want to borrow a leaf from the manufacturers. These fellows here will disclose all their behaviors and their patterns to you. For you think, these ones are bringing their bureaucracy to me. Okay, let's move quickly. What is the effect of a bad cash flow? In fact, I should not even cover this slide, but for the sake of completeness, let me just quickly tell you what it is. Your best HR will leave. The ones you source, you train, and mentor, they will leave. But when they leave while talking about what you have done, and they also leave while taking away all your trade secrets. The finances are in shambles, multiple borrowings, formal and informal at your initiative. You are the one looking for people to lend to you. Earlier on, it was the lenders looking for you. The moment you are seated in this room and the lenders have disappeared, now you are the one looking for them. Just tell yourself you are stupid and reform. Reform. The lenders have left. You are now the one looking for them. And you know when you are the one looking for them, you never read the loan offer terms and conditions. It is now, where do I sign? Thank you so much. Where do I sign? Oh my God. And you're expecting that we shall leave the rest to God. You never hire God for your stupidity. Never. It doesn't happen. You carry the weight and you must pay the price. By the time the suppliers are not only supplying you, but they are saying we meet in court, they don't want to see anymore. The only time to meet you is in court. And after the court session, they don't want even to walk in the same door with you. As you are going out this door, they are also passing this door. Separation, that is so clear. If that is where you are right now, you are still alive, you can be redeemed. The clients are departing, and they are departing while talking about you, ill of you. You wish they could be departing, but they are not talking. They depart while talking. I used to be in Akumat, but you know those fellows were no longer talking in Jessa Milk. You know, they are talking about you. They are talking about you. Especially a client who are thinking that you are a premium name, and now you are moving to another place. They go there saying, you know that name, I left them because of this. They're explaining their circumstances. And that is finishing you. Entrepreneurial fire is extinguished. You are living in denial. You are thinking that is this one so who betrayed me. And then some of us go for what we now talk about. When can I get somebody to take me to State House? This is a very difficult game. Very, very difficult. The Beansika story had State House. The Indere Troop had State House. Many others State House. But you can be sure this is one of the most agonizing route. And by the time you are in this kind of a route, the brain has switched off completely. To now say, I've got no any other solution except that one. Let's move. Now, very quickly, allow me a few minutes to now give you the remedies. Are we here together? Are we here together? Very good. Just some 5 remedies here. 6, actually. Number 1, just go to number 1. That one. Number 1 is starting by staying by. Put an X-ray on the 2 parts of this animal called cash flow. The money coming in and the money coming out daily. In the inflows, watch the following. Number 1, cash sales. Are they fully documented? Are they banked intact daily? They think of, what did you collect today? First bring part of that, we do this. You have opened yourself to a mixing you can't believe. The sales came. Take the sales, all of it to the bank, and then pull out impress for the week, for which accountability must be given before we pick another impress. Or you now need to get a way of doing your purchases in a separate way. Number 2, collections from debtors are fully captured. I'm talking of inflows here. There are people who have not paid you. Did you document all of them? I think it took 120 bucks. By the way, how many were they? You didn't do it there and then you are trying to remember. You go to Uganda Bati, they know the exact day, they know the hour. For you, people are taking your things. You can't remember the exact day. You can't remember the exact figures. And your figures are far smaller than the ones of Uganda Bati. Ugandans, wake up. These are basics. They kill. They are also areas for fraud. Cash advance from clients. Have you documented it? And have you delivered on those orders? Otherwise, the client will just say, you have just forgotten I gave you actually 2 million. No, but was it 2 million or was it 1.8? The man knew he brought maybe even 1.2. You are now talking of 1.8. He accepts now. Let's not put at 1.8. You are the one who has forgotten. Let's not accept 1.8. The loans. What was the purpose of the loan? Did you know the terms and are you going to honor those terms? And where did that loan come from? If it is coming from a lower source of lender than the one where you used to be, lose sleep. Lose sleep. Why did you leave Stanbic? Now you are in some very, very small financial somewhere. Lose sleep. Lose sleep. That is the inflows. Let's look at the outflows. Running costs, are they within budget? Are they authorized? Are they documented? Get used to that thing. 2, directors' random taking away of money. Discourage this, and when it is done, document for accountability and refund. Start telling these fellows that I borrowed this money, I'm putting it back. At the end of the week, it should be properly documented and accounted. Donations. What this budgeted for? Did you know that MTN has what they call a limit to donations? But you, with your small business, your donations are limitless. MTN will tell you, I had a budget of 10 billion for donations. It is now done. Come next year. For you, anytime. Anyway, you come next week. We shall see what you come next week. Your donations are so elastic. So elastic. Even the government has got a limit to which it can say, we can continue at this point. Then they say, wait until the next financial year. For you, every day you can buy. Let's see in the evening. Let's see in the evening. I have the money, but in case I have, I'll get back to you. You have first said no. Then say, in case, I'll come back to you. But for you say, let me see what to do. That's a yes. Let me see what to do. You fool. Why are you too kind? Why are you too nice? So donations, owners' rewards, the thing that we have just mentioned here. You sold a cock. You got a profit of 50,000. You started eating meat at a frequency higher than the normal. That's useless. So that's number 1. Let's go to number 2. There are just 6 of them. Number 2. Manage debts, loans, and things you have not paid. They can debt your end. You need to have a comprehensive review, record of all the people you owe money. Record of all of them, formal and informal. And then check, is the performance deteriorating? Tonight, go and do it. The first thing you need to do to get yourself organized about money issues is, what are my obligations? What are they? Who are they? Once you have known who they are, just ask yourself, am I managing them? If you are not, sleep is gone. There is no way you run a successful enterprise with no sleep. Get away of talking to these fellows. Treat your suppliers as family. They know you and the competition, and they can offer counsel for your own future. Your suppliers, please be open to them. Have a frank discussion with all your creditors, all of them. Mr. Banker, Exim Bank, come and have a chat. This is my situation. If I overweight, you are just wasting time. You are adding interest on something I will never pay. That's what they were telling our brother of indirect troop. They told him this thing had moved from 6.8 to 13 billion. Now they said, can we start these discussions? When the discussions begin, the first thing is stop adding interest. Let's now start from there. Can we now say, if you brought this money, we can remove this part here, and then you now pay us, instead of 13, you can pay us 10. But you are here quiet, saying we shall see what to do. There are no miracles on cash flow. Be ruthless in executing any promises that you make. Why? Money promises are a two-edged sword. If you keep them, the asset called trust is yours. You said next week, I'm giving you $1 million. Before the week is done, send the money. Never will they ever forget you, because not Ugandan. To promise in a week's time, then a day before you have called the person to pay money, very un-Ugandan. You become outstanding. Now, if you don't keep your money promises,